Assalamualaikum and hello doctor, my name is Salina. I will explain how we analyze customer satisfaction score and customer retention rate using relative frequency and cumulative relative frequency. We have a customer satisfaction scores grouped into the 5 intervals. So each interval shows how many customers fall with that range. To understand the distribution, we calculate the relative frequency by dividing the frequency of each interval by the total number of the response, which is 30. So for example, in the 70 until 75 range, the relative frequency is 2 divided 30, which equals 0.07 or 7%. So next, cumulative relative frequency is calculated by adding up the relative frequency progressively. So this helps us see the percentage of customers who fall within or below a certain range. By the time we reach the 85 until 90 interval, the cumulative relative frequency is 0.77, meaning 77% of customers have satisfaction score of 90 or lower. To make the data easier to understand, we can create a graph. A histogram and AUGIF graph have visualized the trends in customer satisfaction score and retention rate. So the bars or line segment will represent relative frequency, showing how satisfaction is distributed among the customer. So next video, I will explain the graph, histogram and AUGIF. So now, as we can see here, there have two histogram graphs. So the first one shows how often customer satisfaction score fall between 70 and 75. The second one show how often retention rates fall between 60 and 90. So each bar represents relative frequency, that's the number of responses in a range divided by the total of 30. So from observation and trends, we can see that the most satisfaction score are in the 85 to 90 range. For retention, the highest frequencies are in 60 to 72 and 78 to 84 range. So this tells us how customers feel and how likely they are to stay. So in the next video, I will explain cumulative relative frequency to help us understand the full distribution over time. So now let's look at the cumulative relative frequency graph for customer satisfaction score and customer retention rate. So this graph adds up the relative frequency as we move across the score or percentage of response at or below each range. So for satisfaction score, the curve rises steadily and hits 1.0 at the highest range, meaning all the responses are covered. So retention rates show a similar upward trends. So this helps us see how the satisfaction and the retention build over time, so giving us a clear picture of customer experience and loyalty patterns. So in conclusion, for the part 1 is the relative frequency graph show most customers fall in the 85 to 90 satisfaction range, and retention is highest at 60 under 72% and 78 under 84%. The cumulative graph confirms that the most businesses have satisfaction score of 90 or lower and retention of 84 or lower. So together, both of graph help businesses spot trends, improve the service quality, and build the stronger customer loyalty. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, I'm SYAMILAH NASER, matrix number BT233030158. I'm going to present part 2, which is calculate and compare measures of central location between the two key performance metrics. Before I start, the measure of central location are asked to find mean, median, and mode. So, this is the data that we got from group assignment. Is mean. Mean is a measure of central tendency that represents the sum of all values in a dataset divided by the numbers of values. The formula of mean is x bar equal to sum of each value inside the set of data divided by the number in the set of data. For example of this question, the set of data is equal to 30. So here I already found the mean. For customer satisfaction score, mean is equal to 84.23, which is 2527, the sum of data divided with 30, which is the number of data. While for customer retention score, we divide 2222 divided with 30 equals to 74.07. So basically, the mean for customer satisfaction is higher than customer retention. Next is median. As we know, median is the value that lies in the middle of a dataset when the numbers are arranged in order. The first thing we need to do is to rearrange the data. So, this is the data that I have arranged from lowest to higher. For median, we have two types of formula, for even and odd number. For odd number, we can easily identify which is located in the middle of set data. But for even number, we will get two numbers in the middle, so the formula is we need to add both of the number and divide it by 2, and we will get the median. So for this data, the median for customer satisfaction is 85% because the number in the middle shown is 85. While customer retention, we got it 74 because 74 plus 74 divided with 2 equals to 74. So the median of customer satisfaction is higher than customer retention. The last one is mode. Mode refers to the value that appears most frequently in a dataset. The dataset can have more than one mode. So for customer satisfaction score, we have two modes, which is 85% and 88%, which is to be found as a bimodal. For customer retention mode, occurring scores were 88 and 80%. So both of the dataset have two modes. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is LEONG and number matrix BB233110537, and today I will present the part 3 of our analysis. For the customer satisfaction score, first we will arrange all values from smallest to largest. The formula percentage is n plus 1 multiplied by p divided by 100. Here, the n is the number of the data points, which is 30, and p is the percentage we want, like 25 for Q1, 50 for Q2, and 75 for Q3. Next, we will plug in the number like 30 plus 1 times 0.25, giving us position 7.75. This means Q1 is between the 7 and 8 values in this data. That is 79 and 80. To find the exact number, we take 79 and add 0.75 multiplied with 80 minus 79. So 79 plus 0.75 equal 79.75. The rest all is do like that to get the Q2 and Q3. Now checking for the outliers. IQR is Q3 minus Q1, so can get the number 9.5. We can calculate the lower limit with Q1 minus IQR multiply 1.5. So we can get the answer 65.5. So did not have the outliers because the lower limit is smaller than the minimum value. Next, the upper limit is Q3 plus IQR multiply 1.5. So we will get the answer 103.5. This also show did not outlier because the upper limit is bigger than the maximum value. The analysis for the customer retention rate follow the step as the previous slide. So using the same formula and process, we can determine Q1 is 68, Q2 is 74, Q3 is 80. To check the outliers, as the data range minimum is 60, maximum is 88, fall within this range. So there are no outlier because the lower limit is 50 and the upper limit is 98. So let's look at the box plot and see what it tells us. For the customer satisfaction score, the data is left skewed. This means more scores are higher but a few low scores, like the minimum of 70, bring the average down. We can tell it is left skewed because the difference between Q2 and Q1 is 5.25. The difference between Q3 and Q2 is 4.25. Since Q2 minus Q1 is larger than Q3 minus Q2, this confirms the left skewed shape. Next, we also see the box plot customer retention rate is symmetric. This means the data is spread around the median, which is 74%. Here, Q2 minus Q1 is 6. Q3 minus Q2 is also 6. Since the difference are equal, so we know the data is balanced. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Augustin. My matrix number is BB233110466. Today I want to present part 4 is to calculate and compare measure of the percent between two key metrics, which is customer certification rate and customer retention rate. Part 1 in calculate the difference of the customer certification and customer retention is to calculate the range. The formula for calculate each range is maximum value minus the minimum value. For the customer certification, maximum value is 93 and the minimum value is 70. The range of this customer certification is 93 minus 70 will get a difference of 23. Whether the customer retention is maximum value is 88 and the minimum value is 60. Range is 88 minus 66 is equal to 28. Okay, next let we calculate the difference of interquartile range IQR between customer certification and the customer retentions. The formula for the interquartile range IQR is Q3 minus Q1. So, to get the interquartile range IQR, we should sort the data in ascending order and find the Q1 in the 25 percentiles and Q3 at the 75 percentile. So, let me look at the customer certification. To find the first quartile, we should the formula is in bracket n plus 1 time percentiles divide 100. So the first quartile for the customer certification is we get 79.75. Next, the third quartile is in the formula of in bracket 9 plus 1 first time percentiles divide 100. We get 89.25. So for the interquartile range IQR for the customer certification is 89.25 minus 79.75 is equals to 9.5. So let me look to the customer retentions internal quartile. For the customer certification, we should find the first quartile in the formula of in bracket 9 plus 1 time percentiles divide 100. We get the first quartile for the customer retentions is 68 and the third quartile is 80. For the interquartile range for the customer retention is 80 minus 68 is equals to 12. Okay, next let's calculate the means absolute deviations. Means absolute deviation is to measure how much on average each data point differs to the mean of the average of the data set. To find MAD, we need to find the means of the average of the data. For find the means, we need to sum up all the value and divide for the number of value. For the customer certifications, the means is 84.33. Next, we need to subtract all the means for each data point to find the deviation. For example, 88 minus 84.23 will get 3.77. Take the all absolute value of the deviations and add up all the absolute deviation. Divide by the data point. For example, the total of the absolute value is 146.55. Divide by 30 will get 4.88%. Next, we will calculate the mean absolute deviation for the customer retentions. The total deviations for customer retention is 172.14. Divide by 30, we will get 5.74%. Okay, next let me calculate the variance. Variance is the measure how far of the each data point is from the mean, showing the spread of the differences of the data. A higher variance means a more variations of the value. First, we need to find the means. For the customer certifications, the mean is 84.23. Then we will subtract the mean from the each value and square the result. We will add all the square difference, then divided is by n in bracket n minus 1 for a sample variance. For a sample variance in a customer certification is 1043.397. We'll divide 30 minus 1. Then get 35.98. Next, the variance for the customer retention is 1425.897 divided by 30 minus 1, we will get 49.17. Next, the variance for the customer retention is 1425.897 divided by 30 minus 1, we will get 49.17. Next, based on the data for the customer retentions, square roots 49.17, we will get 7.012%. Lastly, we will calculate the confidence of the variance. Confidence of variance is adjusted for a difference in the magnitude of the means. The formula is standard deviations divided to the means. For customer certifications, 6% divide 84.23 will get 0.07, while customer retention rate 7.012% divide 74.07 will get 0.09 for the confidence of variance. Okay, the last part of the comparisons between the customer certification and the customer retentions is the range of the customer certification is 23, while the customer retention is 28. Interquartile range for the customer certification is 9.5, while the customer retention is 12. Means absolute deviation MAD for the customer certification is 4.88%, while the customer retention is 5.74%. Variance for the customer certification is 35.98 and the customer retention is 49.17. Standard deviation for the customer certification is 6%, while the customer retention is 7.012%. For the confidence variance of the customer certification is 0.07%, while the customer retention is 0.09%. Maximum value of the customer certification is 93 and the minimum value for the customer certification is 70, while the customer retention with the maximum value is 88 and the minimum value of 60.
Hello everyone, my name is FAIZ bin MATUSSIN, manometrics BB233061100. So I will present part calculate and interpret ratio of association between the two key metrics. So next, this is the formula for covariance and correlation coefficient. So for covariance, step 1, how to find the customer satisfaction score percent. So we will plus all the value of customer satisfaction score and divided 30. So the answer 84.43%. So for the how to find the customer retention rate percent, so we will plus all customer retention rate and divided 30. The answer 73.33. For the next step, step 2, list all the customer satisfaction score and minus total of customer satisfaction score. So next, list all the customer retention rate and minus total of the customer retention rate. So the answer is 1122.557. So for the step 3, the total 1122.557. So how to find the XY? The total divided 30 minus 1. So the answer is 38.71. For the step 4, the covariance is 38.71, which is a positive number. This means the two variables move in the same direction. So when one goes up, the other tends to go up too. In this case, it means that when customer satisfaction increases, customer retention also increases if company can manage customer satisfaction well. It can keep more customer and make more profits by offering better product and service. The value 38.71 show there are strong positive relationship between the two metrics. So for B, correlation coefficient. So the step 1, we will find XX. So follow the formula. Square root sum 1570.4365 divided 30 minus 1. So we will get square root 7.358871. So the answer is 2.71272. So next, find the SY. Square root sum 18090.8 divided 30 minus 1. So we will get square root 8.074652. So the answer for SY is 2.84159. So for the last one, find the RXY. So 38.71 divided 7.708438. So we will get 5.1217. So the last answer is 5.02. Step 2 for the correlation coefficient. The correlation between customer satisfaction score and customer retention rate is 5.02, which is said to show a strong positive relationship. However, this value is incorrect because correction values can only range from -1 to +1. A perfect positive correlation would be +1, meaning as one variable increases, the other increases in a perfectly straight line.